First of all, welcome everyone to the 611 Reacts presented by FanDuel. I'm here with my man Ryan Howard, and let's jump right into it. ABS.
This ABS system coming in, there was going to be kind of a buffer zone of trying to get some stuff figured out. And I think the biggest thing is for these umpires, some of these veteran umpires that have been here and they've had what they've determined to be their strike zone.
Autonomy.
It,
They've
it's
had
it's
autonomy. They've
it,
had
it- you know
autonomy.
what you know what it is. It's tough not to take it personal as an umpire, right? Because for
Mm,
us as the players, we want the call to be right because
correct.
you get into a situation in the game where it's a very crucial part of the game, and you've said this before. It's all about getting it right. I think all these additions and rules are about trying to help get the game or try to help make the right calls, right, to be able to help the players decide the game.
Mm,
Now, when you have situations like this where you've got umpires that have had we've got some stats here, young James. We've got some stats. So I'm gonna go to the stats. Hey, before we get into that though, I do want to say, look, obviously there's the human aspect of it. We all make
mm-hmm.
mistakes. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about, in my opinion, I feel like it's all about how you choose to move forward from this, right? To where you can continue to learn, because ultimately this can be a teaching tool for some of these umpires to where it's like it can help you better understand this strike zone, right? Because the strike zone used to be what you interpreted it to be. We played in the
Right.
buffer
That
zone.
umpire that day.
We played in the buffer zone strike zone where it was 2 inches off of each side, and it just continued to grow. Well, now you reel it back in to where there's one big strike zone. So when you have we have one umpire that's had 10 challenges.
10 challenges and to get 7 overturned is crazy.
It's insane.
We don't get the challenge, or as players, they don't get the challenge every single call. They really have to be
Right.
strategic when they call, because when you get it wrong, you lose it. You don't get it back. And that's throughout the rest of the game. So when you call, and that's one thing that we've always said. Look, we'll get upset early in the games, like, come on, hey, bring that in. Bring that in. We'll give them a chance. We'll say what we have to say, or the catcher's talking to the umpire or pitchers. But when it's a crucial part in the game, and you have two people that execute, and it's left up to an arbitrator who's the umpire. The pitcher executes his pitch, and if I'm on defense and it's a spot, I want it. Even if it's a ball, I want it. Now we can look up at the eye of the sky. If I'm a hitter and he hits a spot, but it's a ball, and I lay off of it, I want to make sure I get credit for that and not left up to the arbitrary umpire in crucial situations. There are going to be points of the game where you kind of look back, you give him a face, or the pitcher may say something, catcher may say something. Okay, we can live with that. That's still the human element. But the fact that when it comes to the crucial part of the game, and I need this call as a pitcher or a catcher on the defensive side, I need this call as an offensive player. We need to make sure we get it right. Then it takes all the argument out. Look, I think I challenged when I tapped the hat, and it's a strike, and I thought it was a ball, and it was just that 2 millimeters on a plate. You got to turn around and say that's one hell of a call. And this isn't to show up umpires. This isn't to embarrass anyone. This is just to say, hey, I did my job, and I want to make sure that it's called correctly.
Let's switch gears and talk about the ejection,
The ejection.
right?
Derek Shelton.
Man,
I have to say, Ryan, I disagree with Shelton on this one. I think the
hmm
rule and the way it was executed and the way it was called followed the rule books. It was textbook.
right,
He challenged it. He tapped the side of
right.
his head or the side of his bill, whatever it was, immediately, and then kind of did it again just in case the umpire didn't see it. And I think that's what Shelton saw. He didn't see the first one. He's probably looking at his hitter,
hmm
seeing the call, and his eyes leave the field. But the pitcher, the whole time, as we saw, he threw it immediately off the side of the mound, immediately, and then came back for a second time just in case the umpire didn't see it.
Now the question is when did Shelton decide to argue, right? Because to me, the argument would have been if you felt that the pitcher didn't get the challenge off in time, the request off in time, then the argument, which is tough to see in the video, would have been as soon as the umpires granted him the
Then you come out.
challenge,
You come out at that
right?
moment.
Not necessarily that the pitch was overturned, but that they even gave him the opportunity. Because if you're going to go against the machine, like, you're not going to win against the machine. You can't challenge that, right? If it shows that it was a strike, it shows that it was a strike. But the challenge comes, his challenge or argument, I should say, should be based on the umpire giving him the opportunity for the challenge or saying he got it in time. That's where I would have thought that that argument would have come from, but we don't necessarily get to see if that was the case. We see the after the call was overturned. So if you're arguing it, if you're arguing with the umpires in the sense of saying, hey, they granted him this thinking that he didn't get it in time and you did it right away, then I can agree with that. But if you waited until after the call was overturned, then yeah, because clearly you could see that he tapped his hat.
But when October comes around and everybody's had this under their belt for a season, and those calls, appear, and the home crowd is cheering their pitcher on, their hitter on, and we've seen it's just human nature. You get caught up in a moment and you start opening up that strike zone, and it's like, yo, what is going on? They don't get to do that as much anymore. So I'm thankful for that. But it will be great to see what's going on. Rye, that's it. That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got. I'm done. I'm done.